100.7 FM Ibadan. I am Bolabad. First, let's check out the major headlines. Tinubu rejects use of mercenaries in counter-terrorism efforts. Presidential aide reveals why bombing bandit enclave is a complex issue. Governor Seyi Makinde unveils 891 billion naira budget for 2026. On the phone, the survivor of United States race massacre dies at the age of 111. And in the world of sport, Amunike Essen urged NFF to revamp grassroots football after 2026 World Cup miss. And now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu on Monday rejected the growing reliance on private military and security contractors in conflict zones in Africa, warning that their involvement undermines sovereignty and complicates counter-terrorism operations across the continent. Speaking during the first plenary session on peace, security, governance and multilateralism at the 7th European Union Summit in Luanda, Angola, Tinubu said peace effort must be led by owned by African governments rather than outsourced to private actors with opaque mandates. President Tinubu, presented by Vice President Kassim Shettima, told heads of state and EU leaders that Nigeria stands resolutely against the use of private military and security companies in African conflicts, as their presence often complicates resolution efforts and undermines state sovereignty. Tinubu argued that Africa's security challenges, from terrorism to transnational organized crime, require coordinated state-driven responses, not parallel forces that weaken command structures. The Special Advisor to President Bola Tinubu on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, has disclosed that security agencies are fully aware of the identities and locations of the bandit groups responsible for recent mass abductions, including the attack on St. Mary's Catholic School, Papiri, in Niger State. Ononuga made the disclosure on Monday during an interview, and according to him, he said security operatives have the necessary intelligence, but the operations are often constrained by the risk of collateral damage to civilians being held by the bandits. The presidential aide recalled a past incident in Borno State where the military mistakenly struck civilians. Ononuga then stressed that the government could not simply launch airstrikes on the identified enclaves. The federal government secured renewed commitment from the United States government to deepen security cooperation with Nigeria amid rising incidents of abductions and violence in parts of the country. This followed a series of high-level engagements between the Nigerian delegation led by the National Security Advisor NSA Malam Nuhu Rabadu and senior United States officials. The Nigerian delegation also met with the United States Congress, State Department, National Security Council, White House Faith Office, and Department of War. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has presented the proposed 2026 budget total 891 billion 985,074,480 naira 79 kobo as the budget which was presented to the State House of Assembly has infrastructure as top on its priority, while the education sector follows with 17.4%, affirming the government's investment in future generations, while the healthcare sector is next with 7.9% allocation, a demonstration of the determination of this administration to enhance access to quality medical services. Agriculture gets 2.2% of the 2026 budget proposal. The remaining 4 435,913,639,479 naira 19 kobo, making up 48.9% of the budget, is distributed across other critical sectors and cross-cutting intervention. This balanced distribution demonstrates a commitment to strategic priorities, including growth and long-term sustainability, in line with the State Medium-Term Expenditure Framework (MTEF) 2026 to 2028. The presentation was witnessed by the all first-class Obas in Oyo State, led by the Alaafin of Oyo and other traditional rulers, religious leaders, captains of industries, and the public. Thank you for staying tuned. Newsline returns shortly after this break.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
It starts with a beat born in the belly of the drum, echoing through desert, cities and coast. This is African Reading.
This is African Reading.
From Fela's Fire to Yemi's Power, from Kinshasa Suko to Josie Amapiano. It's the sound of a people, the pulse of a continent, loud, proud, unstoppable. Every week we serve you the hits, classic, fresh drops, hidden gems, stories behind the sound, vibes you can't ignore.
Vibes you can't ignore.
So plug in every Saturday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Melody 100.7 FM for the best of Africa. African Readings with the African Tory Master, Big Daddy Kenneth Graham. Africa, feel the reading.
On Melody 100.7 FM.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Newsline on Melody 100.7 FM. And now straight to business news, where the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has declared a profit after tax of 5.4 trillion naira for the financial year ended 2024, marking one of its strongest performances since its transition into a limited liability company. The Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPCL, Bayo Julari, announced the financial results during a press briefing on Monday in Abuja. The latest figures represented a sharp improvement from the 2023 financial year, when the company posted a profit after tax of 3.297 trillion naira. The 2024 profit reflects a 64% year-on-year increase, signaling the impact of higher production volumes, cost-cutting measures, and enhanced operational efficiency across its assets. The Newsman reports that NNPC Limited's latest results extend a remarkable profitability streak that began in 2020, when the company recorded its first ever profit of 287 billion naira, rising to 674 billion naira in 2021 and 2.5 trillion naira in 2022.